picking and choosing what's actually worth it for you, because I could have ate like shit the entire time was in Chicago, and would it have been worth it?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name's Lisa. I'm a women's online fitness coach, been in the industry for over a decade, helping women become their healthiest, happiest, and hottest selves. If you're not new here, thanks for coming back for another video. I have a little bit of a different setup today. My camera is currently being held by my hand because I'm in a rental car, getting some work done on my car. And I forgot to take out the little sticky mount thing that I usually use to film my intros. So you're going to get a wobbly intro today. But today we are hitting an upper body workout. I am back from being out of town. I was in Chicago for about a week, and I actually lost a pound while I was gone, which was intentional because I wanted to show you guys, like here and on Instagram, that you can go on vacation, you can live life and still progress towards your goals. And you don't have to give up on anything. You don't have to feel left out. So I want to talk a little bit about that today during the workout, of how to kind of balance vacation, the holidays. You know, it is now November. This is a time where a lot of people easily gain 5 to 10 pounds and say, fuck it, I'm going to start over in January. And that doesn't have to be the case for you. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is how I lost weight while in Chicago, how to manage the holidays, how to manage a vacation, and still work towards your goals. So let's go ahead and drink this pre-workout and get this workout in. So cheers.
All right, you're starting with seated rows, supersetted with straight arm lat pull downs. But I just realized we are kind of in a time crunch. We got 45 minutes, so we're gonna hit a back day, not a full upper, just to like be able to get through this thing quickly and efficiently. I like to use a wider handle on seated rows. I don't like the small, narrow handle because I don't feel like you can get good muscle engagement. So I like the wider grip. But I was gone in Chicago for 7 days, traveled total 9 days. Okay, and now straight arm lat pull downs. So I traveled one day to drive my dog to my parents' house in Arizona. It's about a 5-hour drive because I am that crazy person and I don't have a dog sitter. And to me, it's stressful finding a dog sitter, so I'd rather just drive. So I drove him to their place, stayed the night, flew out the next morning from Phoenix, and then was in Chicago for 7 days. Flew back a week later to Phoenix, stayed the night at my parents', and then drove home. But while I was gone, I kind of had a plan. So I ordered grocery delivery, and I made breakfast pretty much every day. There was only one day that I ate out for breakfast. And then I ate a whole bunch of good food, which I will throw up a montage for you so you can see. And I never felt like I was missing out on anything because I ate healthy breakfast. And then there was a few days where I made lunch or dinner. I tried not to eat out, every meal, every day. And I really focused on like balancing snacks and matchas and all the goodies. The first night, me and my boyfriend went to go get hot dogs, and we had a coney dog, which apparently he's from Michigan, and it's like a big thing about coney dogs. I don't know. I thought they were just called chili dogs. When I hear coney dog, I think of Sonic with like the foot-long coney dogs, but I guess it's like a big thing in Michigan. So we got coney dogs and Chicago dogs, which is great because I love me a good-ass hot dog. I think it just is nostalgic for me because my dad would make hot dogs all the time when I was younger. I don't know. So we did that. But I went to Chicago with a plan. Like, I ordered my groceries the night before. I had picked out quite a few places that I wanted to eat, and then I kind of like fixed it, or like based where I was going off of what I wanted to eat and do. So that way everything kind of like blended together. The other thing was, of course, I walked a shit ton, right? So we walked and took the L pretty much everywhere. So I averaged like 15 to 20,000 steps a day. And I still went to the gym. All right, we are now switching to lat pull downs. Like always, first set is a warm up, and then we'll go up in weight from there. So I did go to the gym. I only went a couple times because, to be honest, we were doing a whole bunch of stuff every day. And there were some days, like, I wasn't a huge fan of the gym. So I'm one of those people, and this is an excuse, yes, where if I don't like a gym, I'm not going to go to it as much. So the gym I went to, like, it wasn't a bad gym. I think I'm just very spoiled for the gym that I go to and how good of the equipment is and like the type of people in here. All right, we got barbell rows next. We're gonna warm up with just the barbell. Just make sure everything feels good. One of the most important things, like when you're traveling or on vacation, like you don't necessarily need to track your macros every day, track everything. But I was intentional of tracking my protein. So every meal that I had or snack was protein focused. If I went out to dinner, sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't. But when I had, like when I was making my own food, like for breakfast, I'd make egg whites and some like turkey lunch meat, a little bit of cheese. And we went to this local bakery and bought this rosemary sourdough that was probably one of the best fucking pieces of like loaves of bread I've ever had. So like that was typically my breakfast. I got some protein shakes. I packed protein powder with me, had some protein bars, just different things like that to snack on in between while we were doing stuff or at the Airbnb. And then when I go out to eat, I would honestly get what I want, which is something that I've struggled with for a long time because I used to feel like if I went out to eat, it had to have protein. Otherwise, it was a waste. And I've kind of released that thinking. I really worked on ordering what I wanted and then just like focusing on protein outside of that. I think a really helpful way to think about food on vacation or just in general, because this is where my mindset has gone and it's made a significant difference in my life, is picking and choosing what's actually worth it for you. Because I could have ate like shit the entire time was in Chicago, and would it have been worth it? Like, would a lot of that food been worth it? The answer is probably not. So I was really diligent about picking and choosing where we were going to go to eat, what was worth it, what was not for me. You know, just like yesterday, I went to a hockey game, and because I had eaten out so much in Chicago, and because what can you get at a hockey game? Nachos and hot dogs and stuff that's a bunch of junk. I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. So I ate dinner before I went, and then I sipped on a Coke Zero while I was there. But it's really about figuring out what's worth it to you and what's not. Because I love food, but I'm done wasting calories on food that doesn't even taste that good just because it's there. All right, so we got about 10 minutes. So we're going to finish with pull-ups because a nice like full back compound movement. If you're new here, I'm only 5'1", so I have to stand on this instead of putting my knees on it because I can't go up all the way if I don't do that. So just an FYI. Interesting. They're playing Rammstein in here. Rammstein is like a hardcore German band. And I do love me some Rammstein. If you didn't know, my mom's from Germany. I speak German. I visit there quite often. So I am a Rammstein fan. It's just interesting to hear it played. But the biggest takeaway from today's video that I hope you get is that you can go on vacation, you can enjoy the holidays, and not just throw all your goals in the garbage. Like, it's 100% possible, but it requires being intentional because no one ever accidentally reaches their goals. It's about being thoughtful. It's about planning ahead. It's about, setting yourself up for success versus like crossing your fingers and hoping things happen the way you want them to. Well, I think that's where I'm going to leave you guys. Short and sweet video today. And I will see you in the next one.